remember the past few weeks when we received information that Immigration Service has been, trying to send again, I think, was it new employment cards? Because there was a mistake of some sort. Could you clarify this, Attorney Golan? I don't have the particular news item here, but I remember them informing, yes.
Look, this happens from time to time.
Uh-huh.
That there is some mistake in the printing.
I see.
Of any type of approval notice or employment card or even green card, and they catch it, and then they tell you don't use those cards or bring them back sometimes, and we will issue new cards and new approval notices. It happens. Look, we got also to understand the Immigration Service. It's a huge machinery.
Yes.
And they handle every year millions and millions and millions of applications and petitions.
Right.
And sometimes mistakes happen, especially when they try to upgrade the systems.
Yes.
Anybody who works with computers knows that when you make a change and you do upgrade, there's always some bug sneaks its way into the system, and you come out with a mistake.
What about, Attorney Golan, when they had sent a letter to an individual, but this individual perhaps did not receive the letter? First, perhaps maybe they never checked their mailbox. Second, maybe they moved and never informed the immigration. What happens to that letter? Or maybe they say, we haven't heard from immigration, but apparently a letter has been mailed to them. What happens in that situation?
Look, it depends what kind of a letter. The law requires immigration to send the letter to the last known address. The last known address. So if they send you a denial and they send it to the last known address and you moved and didn't let them know, you may find yourself in deportation without even knowing about it. But it's your fault. It's your fault. On the other hand, let's say they send you an employment permit, and somebody stole it from your mailbox. You can complain to the Immigration Service, and there is a special application to make you a new one and send it to you again. Okay, so it depends what it is, but the Immigration Service is discharged of its obligation if they send it to the last known address.
Now, Attorney Golan, is this an advantage, having one of the advantages of having an immigration lawyer, because perhaps the lawyer will also be informed, or the letter will also be sent to you, another copy aside from the individual applicant?
In most cases, we do get copies, and then we contact the client. But again, here, sometimes they don't send us a copy. But if we complain that we did not get the copy, sometimes they give more credibility to our complaint.
Correct. And I guess you're always on top of the case, right? Trying to find out, follow it up, because, you know, yes, it's different. That's why people, our listeners and viewers, you have to call an immigration expert. And you got to call a good one. That's Attorney Golan at 213-383-3222. And if you're in Los Angeles, the address is 3250 Wilshire Boulevard. That's Suite 1918, and the zip code is 90010. Now, let's go to, there's so much furor about the separation of families. What happened this time, Attorney Golan? It has been going on. I mean, in the past, we never heard so much complaint. What happened now that they're separated from, were they not separated before?
What happened is, again, a result of the government, Mr. Sessions' attempt to block illegal entries to the United States from the border with Mexico. There's always, especially in summertime, a big flood of illegal entries from Mexico. Not necessarily Mexicans, mostly last year, not Mexicans, but people from Central America. And Mr. Sessions wanted to find a way to block it. So he issued an instruction to change the procedure at the border. Previously, anybody who got caught entering illegally, which means not at the port of entry but crossing the border illegally, was held in detention and brought before an immigration judge and ordered deported. Okay? If he was caught and of course after they wrote this person up and took fingerprints, if somebody was caught more than one time, because many people were deported like this, and immediately after a day or a week came back in again, and maybe they were caught again. If somebody was caught more than one time like this, and they were able to identify this person by fingerprints and names, the law permits them to bring a criminal case against this person and sentence this person to jail time.
Okay.
Before deportation. Now come Mr. Session and says, actually the law gives us more power. We can put you in a criminal case even the first time you enter illegally. We don't need to wait to catch you the second time. We can put you in a criminal case and sentence you to jail time or prison time even the first time. So the directive about 3 months ago or so was anybody who is caught entering illegally should be criminalized, put into charged with a criminal offense and held in detention for a criminal case in federal court, not in deportation court, in federal court. Now this had a side effect. Many of those people from Central America were coming with children.
Yes.
With little children. And there is another law that says you cannot hold the children in jail.
I see.
Mainly, you cannot hold children more than 21 days in jail. And so this created the need to separate the parents from the children. Okay. So the parent was kept in the adult was kept in jail for the criminal case, and the child was taken away by the immigration, by ICE, and given to the Department of Human Services to take care of the child, like any abandoned child in the United States.
Right.
And the DHS or HHS, Human and Health Services, whatever their name is today, placed the children in some places where they place abandoned children. So this created a mass separation. Thousands of children all of a sudden became separated from their parents. This is why? Because they decided to start criminalizing every border crosser. Every border crosser became a criminal offender, a criminal violator, and was kept in prison for the criminal case, and they could not keep the children, so they took away the children. Doesn't matter if the child was 15, 16, or 2 weeks old. They took away the children and placed them in all kinds of places, in probably decent places, all over the country. However, they did not keep records.
That's right.
The issue became the record keeping. They did not keep records. They claimed that they knew every child where the child is, but they didn't know who are the parents of the child. And this created the whole commotion and mess and court orders and crying and TV shows and
Right.
Why? Because of the lousy record keeping. And finally, a federal judge ordered them to reunite the children with the parents. And that's when the truth came out that in many cases, in hundreds of cases actually, they didn't know what child belonged to what adult.
Right.
And in another bunch of many cases, maybe hundreds, the parents were already deported and the child was left here.
Right. And apparently, Attorney Golan, is it true that some children were not even accompanied by their parents, but somebody else? So that's why they were thinking of doing DNA.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. This is one of the stories that the Immigration Service is sometimes publishing. Maybe there is one or two children who came with their uncle and not with their parents, you know. Maybe somebody in Nicaragua gave his 6-year child to their neighbor. You are going to the United States, take my child with you.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yes.
And then since they ran into one case like this or two cases like this, they said, we need to do DNA to thousands of children.
Right.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? You know, the judge told them to stop it.
Yes. Attorney Golan, one question is, so what happens now that they're reunited? So they're together in jail, the child with the mother or the father. Now, when they're deported, the entire family leaves. Where are they?
No. They are ordered. They cannot keep the child with the parents in jail. They have to let them go.
Oh, so the child will always go to the services, the human health services or something?
No. No, the child and the parents, the reunited child and parents,
yes,
are released by the Immigration Service.
I see.
And requested to show up for a deportation hearing.
Oh, wow. And is there a chance that a relative of theirs can take care of the child here? No, they can never leave the child.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they can if they want to.
I see. And I'm sure many people have opted to do that, I suppose. All right.
Yeah, the issue was that they started the procedure without thinking it through and without preparing. They started this whole thing from one day to the next day without thinking it through and without preparing. Okay.
It's interesting.
This was an issue. And then we had chaos.
Yeah. It's just people were wondering what is happening now. You know, people didn't understand the complete issue. It's like children being separated, everybody's crying, the parents are deported. It's like incredible. But I guess now it has settled down. The children are reunited. I guess they have almost reunited everyone, which is good for the parents. And some people, some were in New York. The mother had to go all the way there to pick up the child. And it's very strange, different places where.
Well, you know, they had to place 3,000 children.
Wow.
In one, all of a sudden, within 3-4 weeks, they had hundreds of children every day.
Incredible.
That they had to settle somewhere.
Yes.
And not didn't have enough space in homes in Texas or Arizona, so they had to ship them to New York or to Minnesota, you know.
But thank God the government also was very kind. They provided for their food, shelter for the children. They were taken care of. They were given lessons, I understand. They were going to classes.
Look, there was no, I didn't hear any complaints.
Yes.
Or any serious complaints about the children being mistreated.
Yes.
But the separation by itself is a mistreatment.
Right. That's right.
But except for that, the children were taken care of, you know. But then the issue began. What do we do next, you know?
Yes, that's right.